Hello, welcome to day 2 of Athena Games Invitational. We missed, unfortunately, due to having nobody to stream the Modern Masters part, but we are down to our top 4 players. We have George Marriott playing Abzan Control. We have Richard Joslin playing Abzan Aggro. James Gurney playing Abzan Control. And who's the 4th person?
Gareth Hughes.
Well, Gareth Hughes also playing Abzan Control. So if you've tuned in, expect to see some really quick games. It's not going to happen. I've got Gary, who unfortunately didn't make the top 4 cut, so he's going to commentate with me. So. We've tried to get the most varied game on camera we can. So we have got Joslin's Hangarback, sort of aggro Abzan against Abzan Control. George's on the left, Richard's on the right. These two came 2nd and 3rd in the standings. It is best of 5 for the top 4, so we'll go along with that. And we'll see how we go. They're currently just shuffling up their deck. So let's have a look. Just sort of run through the deck lists. We've got George is playing, as I said, Abzan Control, so he's running basic, pretty much normal Abzan Control deck really, with 2 Elspeths, Nugan, Jarly Mentor Heroes, 3 Forces main, 3 Languish, which will probably be quite good in this, looking at Joslin's deck.
Main deck Jamoka as well.
3 Jamoka's command main deck.
And Dragon
Dragon Jamoka, yeah. I've seen that a couple times yesterday actually. And then Richard Joslin's deck is a little bit more varied. He's got 1 Ajani Mentor Heroes, 2 Elspeth Sons Champion, 1 Sorin, 4 Anna Fenza the Foremost, 2 Den Protector, 4 Fleece Main Lion, 4 Hangarback Walker, 4 Siege Rhino, 2 Wingmate Rock, 4 Abzan Charm, 2 Jamoka's Command, 2 Heroes Downfall, 1 Ultimate Price, and 1 Valor's Stance. So I imagine really Languish is going to be pretty big enough.
Yeah.
It kills everything other than Siege Rhinos.
Potentially the Walkers if they get big enough.
Yeah.
You kind of want them to sometimes to die. So.
Yeah. So I mean, Anna Fenza can make things bigger, I suppose, but
yeah. And I guess Jarny could with putting counters around.
Yeah. So he can make it. He can. He's just got to be aware.
What do you think's favoured in the aggro versus control?
I think the aggro. From what I watched yesterday, I'll go with aggro. Well, I could be wrong. I've never actually really played Abzan.
I think coming off the back of like GP London, that was the talk was that's finally this is Abzan aggro with Hangarback is now
that tips it over the edge.
Yeah, that's the favourite control. Whereas before it was the thing that kept aggro in check was the control variant.
And Abzan, Anna Fenza with Hangarback is just ridiculous. So, don't even attack her, you just tap him to put a counter on and then put another one. So it's
it's just all sorts of
huge,
Abzan Charm putting counters on, Jarny putting counters on.
In case any of you don't know, this is, as I said, this is the top 4. They are playing for first place is going to get £150 worth of store credit. Second place will get £100 of store credit, and the bottom 2 will get £75 each. Big John, the top 4 is, first was Gurney, 2nd was Joslin, 3rd was George, 4th is Gareth Hughes. All playing Abzan. So Gary. Gary's with me today.
Yes, that's me. I'm here. I finished 5th, so I get the pleasure of commentating.
Did you lose again, Joslin?
Yeah, I lost to Joslin, winning in for the top.
Which is a shame, because I was rooting for him, because I'd really like to see like a different deck other than Abzan. I would have quite happily watched Red Black Dragons.
Trying to get some dragons in, but I guess there's one dragon in these 2 lists. So it's here in spirit.
We've got some Wingmate Rocks. Yeah, something different.
And again, he's sort of.
Yeah, he's basically a dragon. He is the dragon.
So that's as close as we can get there.
Yeah, still shuffling out the decks at the minute, so I hope you get to the game as soon as. Let's see how we go. Yeah, unfortunately, there was nobody to stream the Modern Masters part of the day, so
quite an interesting one. We ended up with 4 affinity players, 4 people drafting the affinity deck. And yet one of them still managed to go 3-0. So they all completely cut their decks to shreds, which was bizarre.
John doesn't think you sounded like you at first.
Oh, well, I don't. When I listen to myself on stream, I don't think I sound like me either. So you're not alone
there. Oh dear. Excuse me. What do you think of the new lands? Have you seen them?
Yes, I have. Yes, quite exciting, yeah.
Good. I like it.
Um,
From George earlier, it is about as close as you're going to get to dual lands without them being shock lands, basically.
Yeah.
So,
It's they still keep coming up with new ways to do,
it.
a slight twist on what we've had, but it is something new and does play in a different way.
Yeah.
And with the fetchers in standard at the moment, they're certainly going to get played.
Lorna relate to that, John Cena. Right, so they've just drawn. Jocelyn's got his 7. George is now looking at his 7. I see a couple of Abzan Charms and Ugin. I can't see what else is in Jocelyn. George, they're both keeping their 7. So we've got Skyland first. Sky keeps it on top fairly quickly and passes the turn over. Jocelyn's hand, I can't see anything in it at the moment. Oh, Forest. I think that's a Fleece Mane Lion and it looks like a Hangarback Walker.
So he's going down to 17.
40 straight away, so that's 17 for George.
So now we will get to see the full hands. It's Forest Caves, Athena, Valorous Stance, Dripmoker's Command.
It's just a one-off Valorous Stance in this deck as well, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
just the one. So
which is still pretty good in this matchup.
I mean, what would you take here?
I would probably just go straight for the Athena.
Get rid of the creature or get rid of the card draw?
I would probably get rid of Athena because he's too slow. He's too
threat.
slow.
The game goes long.
It might be saying that he's got 2 Abzan Charm in his hand, so he's probably not that bothered about the Athena. So
yeah,
probably
has
just
an
take the
answer
card
for
draw.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Win the attrition fight.
Pass turn, so
Oh,
turn 2 Hangarback, lovely. That's the best top deck you could have had.
Yeah. Card is amazing.
I imagine this is getting exiled at some point.
Well, do you make it bigger than a 2/2 against Abzan?
I suppose you don't just keep punting at it, don't you?
Or you just hit for 1. I guess.
Well, he's got an offensive
that's
edge,
true,
so you can
there's no
make it bigger out and worry about
holding
it.
the mana up for that.
Yeah. So that's an offensive on turn 3, pass the turn. So factor fetch down to 16. See what he's after. See, it's off Forest.
Was it a waste the other one?
No, it looks
So
like
he's got no white mana as it stands.
I'm assuming he must have.
So.
I've really gone for the Forest. He must have it in his hand.
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. So he's going down to 15. So George is doing a good job of killing himself at the moment. So it's going well. This is one of the reasons I think the aggro is favoured, because Abzan takes so much damage on its own anyway.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah,
and you
can just
your biggest threats are just as good as controls. And you're going to get a lot more incremental damage earlier on. So he's going down to what, 13?
Main phase the Abzan Charm.
He must have missed some damage earlier from the damage land. So Abzan Charm.
Oh yes.
Getting rid of what that Anathena was, it? Yeah. Just going to scry. Have a look at his top card.
So what do you think the reason for main phasing the charm on the Anathena is there?
I don't really know. No, I can't. You can just do it for.
You can't pump it to. I guess you could Bile Bite to make it too small to do it in a pinch.
Yeah.
Although he doesn't have it in his deck, but I don't think George doesn't necessarily know that. Just
I don't know. Not sure.
You might get a better target, maybe.
So in turn, pumps up Hangarback Walker. Draws his card. He kept this on top pretty quick. So it looks like a Siege Rhino, which that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's slamming Siege Rhino here.
So George is down to 11 from.
And 23 for Jocelyn. And 10, isn't he?
Do he take 3 for the Hangarback, didn't he? Or did he this turn? So he's down to 7 now.
Yeah. Wow, you have to remind me that.
Luckily, I can just about read the life.
Yeah.
And the dice isn't changing.
This game is going fairly quickly, which is not too bad.
Yes.
Welcome to all the new viewers. As you don't know, this is the Invitational top 4. We've had the Modern Masters draft today so far already. We've got top 4 players playing out for the winner getting 150 points of store credit. Unfortunately for you, if you are watching, it is 4 Abzan control decks, well, 3 Abzan control decks and Abzan aggro. So we're all rooting for Jocelyn at the moment, I imagine, so we can get through the games fairly quickly.
So it's got Johnny here.
Plays a Johnny Mentor Heroes.
So he's under pressure to find something. It's 7 life and with a Hangarback in play.
Looking for a Rhino, is he not?
There's Elspeth there, so that's a hit. But whether there's anything better,
we can
guess playing that next
play
turn
Elspeth
is
next
pretty
turn.
good, assuming he has another land.
Jocelyn's got a Wingmate Rock in his hand as well.
Oh, that's
So
that's going to be tough to beat, I think, in this situation.
I don't think he's got an answer to it either.
I guess Languish is probably the only one in the main deck. Or the cleanest one.
Does he got any downfalls? Doesn't play downfall main?
Well, I mean, it's half an answer.
Yeah.
I guess
he's got an extra turn on the clock at least.
Yeah, and I guess Jocelyn is now deciding, what do you swing at? Is there any merit?
I think at this point you just ignore Jari. Surely you don't even just worry about it. You just keep swinging for 2. He's down to 5. Wingway roll next turn. Well, Wingway, if he's got his 5th land, I don't know if he has. Or he didn't get his 5th land.
He has still got the Democracy command in hand, so he can make that Hangarback bigger if it does get removed. And then
yeah.
So that will at least give him 3 threats. So that's a Den Protector off the Ajani Plus, which I guess buys
that for the
you can
charm.
block it for a turn and get the charm. Well, the charm doesn't do a huge amount if the
no, they can not kill the Hangarback. It
turns
doesn't.
into Thopters, yeah.
He needs a Rhino pretty desperately.
Is he going to Dramoka's command here to fight, do you think? Counter and fight? Force him to use it? Gets his
2 counters, gets his Thopters.
Is that worth it?
Will it still die? Is it a 4/4? I think it's going to be a 3. Is it a 3?
It'll go to a 3. It'll be 3/3, finding a 3/2 if it's a flipped up Den Protector.
No, it's only 1/1 counter, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So it will die.
It'll die, get 3 Thopters.
And he. What do you get back from the graveyard? I guess it's got to be an Abzan charm.
He hasn't got anything else to get, has he? It is just
Abzan
Abzan charm,
which doesn't seem very good at the moment.
Forces will just kill him. So
maybe think about getting a land to play the Elspeth if he didn't have the 6th land.
he hasn't got a 2 mana card to play in his hand already, so he might as well flip it and get a card back for the sake of it.
Yeah. He's got Ugin in his hand as well. Ugin and Elspeth in hand, but none of them really deal with the Thopters.
It's too late, isn't it?
Just can't. He's going to get killed.
Joel's been curved out perfectly, didn't he? Really. So.
Like say Rhino, and then.
I mean, in both Skylands that you played, he kept them both on top, so his deck was just completely hit on turn, exactly what he wants.
What's he?
He didn't flip it. He decided not to.
I guess there's nothing to get back. It's odd.
Oh, he didn't want to kill the Hangarback.
That's true. Yeah.
So,
okay. If he can put up, if he gets.
Because he can't deal with multiple flyers.
He plays Elspeth, just creates 1/1s and blocks, and then the Hangarback never dies, and that's actually a solid plan. Although it's Abzan a charm size now.
But yeah, another Joker's gone. So that's game 1. Goes to Richard. Do you want to just run through the sideboards? We'll see what we think they're going to bring in. They do get to see each other's deck lists at this point.
So on Richard's side, it's got 2 Dragon's Commands, 2 Ultimate Price, 2 Self-Inflicted Wounds, 4 Seeds.
I think we're going to see these decks back, at least.
We will.
So they can go and see them. We'll try and make sure we get copies of them next time.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
I imagine he's bringing Drake and Dragon's Commands. I know George is playing Garrick in the sideboard, which I'm that's going to be too long, too late.
Thoughtseize, tack the hand.
Yeah, disrupt as much as possible, take his only threats out, slow him down.
The answers to his answers.
George will win a long game if it goes longer.
Yeah. Would you bring Self-Inflicted Wound in on the aggro side?
You can't. You can't push past a Rhino without it, can you?
No, I guess yeah.
You just get blocked by a Rhino mostly. So
yeah,
I probably would. But then I don't know what Johnson's going to be losing. I don't suppose he really needs.
Yeah. Well, what does he have in the main deck that's not good in this matchup?
Keeping your Hangerbacks, keeping your Rhinos. Going to keep. You've got
keep your Valorous stance probably because it kills Rhinos and saves
you. Yeah, do you know, especially in this Valorous stance, is probably better than Self-Inflicted Wound at this point because it also keeps your stuff alive at the same time.
Sides. You could also.
We're trying to go from memory here as well because I haven't got a list in front of me because I've just taken them. So I can't quite zoom in that much to read it. So unless they have been rewritten, I'll just check we've got the copies of them.
But certainly, I think things probably get better for the control player. You've got to, when you're playing any sort of control deck, you've got to have a sideboard which allows you to transform to.
This is best of 5 as well, so it's going to get at least
Yeah,
two games on the play.
2 games with it. And Abzan aggro is not a rogue deck that no one's expecting, so you would imagine that the control side will have a plan for this one.
Still looking for a sideboard at the moment. Hangerbacks always do great. Hangerback basically goes in every standard deck available at the moment. There's not really one that doesn't need to play it. There's not really a reason not to play it.
Yeah, I think anyone that's got a standard deck has at least some point for could I put Hangarback in this?
Yeah.
And it's worth trying in a lot of decks. I even considered it in like a red aggro deck.
It's just so much value.
It is. And I guess the colourless nature of it is going to have a fair amount of synergy in the upcoming sets. All the devoid mechanics and
so much good stuff.
Interactions with things that are relevant for colourless creatures. And I guess there might be some interesting interplay between the stuff in exile fact of the Eldrazi with the fact we've still got Delved in the format.
So charm your Hangarback Walker. I'll play it from exile.
Yeah.
So that seems rather good.
Yeah.
So what's he bringing in? I can't see what he's. So we'll try and find out. We've got someone watching the game, and if they come back in, they might be able to let us know what they did actually bring in. I think he's took out Jerome's command there, Joslin did, by the looks of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they don't have so many ants. There's less creatures on the control side, and if they go even heavier with removal as the way to deal with threats rather than creatures, there might just not be enough targets for the Druid's Command to really.
I mean, both players had complete opposite starts to the day yesterday as well. Joslin went 0-2, and then went 2-2 in standard, 3-1 in modern, and then 2-1 in draft.
3-0.
3-0 in Modern Masters draft. So, and then George went 4-0 in standard. I think he went potentially 2-2 in modern.
Yes, I think so.
I think it was 2-2 in modern, and then 2-1 in draft. Maybe 1-2. 1-2. Ended up on 21 points. So
he's progressively gotten worse.
Which is not what he expected. Considering this is the Invitational yesterday is the first time George has played Abzan Control. So he does quite well. Joslin's been playing Abzan pretty much since the start of Khans. So
yes, I can't recall seeing him play anything else.
He played Esper Dragons for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But then that's just a flash in the pan deck, so that kind of just died. Joslin's quite good at just finding the best deck in the format and grinding it out. Always making some notes. Not entirely sure. I think he might just be writing his sideboard down. We should be getting these lists back.
Yeah, I can have a look when they start going. See if we can make some educated guesses.
Let's just update the games for you. So those of you who have just joined, this is the top 4. Richard Joslin is 1-0 up in the Abzan mirror match. Not quite the mirror. Abzan aggro. Abzan control. What's that? There we go. Sorry.
I'm being pernickety.
No, that's right. Look over so one. Richard Joslin, yes. He won that game fairly quickly, actually. I mean, he curved out quite nicely. Pretty much hit creatures on curve straight away. Got Fortseas turn 1. George did have double Abzan Charm to deal with his Frecht, but Joslin just hit off the top every time. He had a couple of Skylands, turn 4 Siege Rhino.
I think turn 3 just ended up with a lot of expensive spells in his hand that he couldn't cast. Elspeth Ugin on 5 mana, he cast an Ajani, which I don't think.
Two Ajani activations he got on Elspeth and a Den Protector. But then the Den Protector was nothing in the graveyard that was going to help him to get back at that point anyway. So
it was just. And Joslin with one of his best threats in the Hangarback Walker that requires potentially multiple answers to deal with.
Hopefully get to game 2 soon as.
Yeah, I can understandably taking a reasonable amount of time to make the right decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. They've got no time limit.
into the important stages of the tournament.
It's quite a big difference between getting 75 pounds store credit and 150.
There is.
Especially with Battle's End just around the corner.
Yes, yes. Buy some sweet Eldrazi. And not to mention the title of being the champion of the store.
Yeah.
Which is,
Jamie hasn't been using the playmats for the stream, but they are really nice. The customised playmats. And the winner gets the one that says the champion on it. Everyone else gets a normal.
Yeah. Was the artwork done by?
It was done by Ruth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all done in house.
Really nice.
It was those of you who aren't local to Norwich. It was a very generous tournament we put on, to be honest, because it was literally just top 16 players throughout the last year, completely free to enter the tournament. He's put £450 into the prize pool for store credit. Everyone who went and got a playmat and some customised dice, Athena Games dice. He didn't have to put it on at all, but it's gone down really well, I think.
Everyone's really. Yeah, I think the tournament
it's been a really good
has
tournament.
Gone down really well. Everyone's, it's been competitive, but everyone's had a good time.
Yeah, it's been all formats played. So we've had a draft, standard and modern. So everyone who's been here seems to have enjoyed themselves. I know we streamed the 8-game stream yesterday, went really well. There was some really good, interesting decks being played. Not a single mono red deck in the room yesterday.
I think I was the favourite to play that, but with as an expected Abzan, a field full of Abzan, which it turned out to be.
I think there's over 50% is Abzan.
Yeah, so. That matchup is you can win game one some of the time.
Yeah, and then it's just a bit of a struggle.
It does get pretty tough. You need to wait for the hate for a red to go away, I think, before that becomes a favourite again.
Saw a lot of Green Red Devotion yesterday. It was good. I think they were top 2 deck for Abzan and Green Red Devotion. I think it's probably expected.
There's a couple of heroic.
One person, I can't remember who it was, but he was playing just straight blue. He played in round 1.
Ian.
Ian. He was just playing straight blue-white. We were discussing it yesterday, the reasons why you'd want to play blue-white over ban in the current format. I didn't see them why you'd want to.
I guess it's a bit more consistent, and in a deck that is already somewhat inconsistent, and you have difficult draw. You've got to draw the right mix of things, and adding in a third colour is going to make that a bit harder. But I agree. I think if I was to play it, I'd be on. So
they're both taking their opening 7. George is just mulliganed for 6. I can't see what's in Rich's hand, but it looks like he's keeping his 7. He's got an Abzan Charm,
We Make Rock, I think.
Forest, and that's all I can see because it's just out of the light. Yeah, we did it yesterday. we've got 2 screens in front of us, and every time we're trying to see the cards, we keep on leaning our head round the corner to see if we can see past their hand, which is just really stupid. It's like when you used to play computer games and you just lean with your controller.
Right, so 6 for George.
See what we get. So lands, Rhino.
That hand's downfall. There's at least 2 lands.
Yeah, he's keeping. And he's got a scry as well, so that seems like a fair keep straight on top.
Which is a good sign for him.
Didn't see what Jocelyn's draw for the turn was, but he's going to play a Citadel.
Yeah, all colours online.
Pass the turn. Okay, so Koilos, pass the turn again. Which is kind of what you expect to happen with Abzan control.
Yeah, there'll be any early plays.
No Fleece main line for Jocelyn yet.
So the lands keep flowing, up to 3.
So he's got his Hero's Downfall open now for whatever he wants to hit, and Abzan Charm open as well. What's the up? I can't see what that was. Turn 3 and offensive from Jocelyn. Is he taking damage here? Yeah.
And I think it'll be an instant Abzan Charm, and that will be
to 19 as well for George.
So 1-for-1 trade resources.
I think it's what's going to expect. I think if you're Richard, you're not unhappy about that really. It's just.
Okay, I think this has got to be the Rhino, hasn't it?
Yeah. So he's down to 18
points to play it, but go up by 1, so back to 20. And Jocelyn, we down to 16.
16 for Richard. So he kind of needs to answer this now, doesn't he?
I think so. He's not going to attack through it.
He's got a Valorous stance in hand. I think you just that's Hangarback instead.
Hangarback. Valorous stance end of turn. Oh.
Oh, that's just as good. You bring in the self-inflicted wounds, and then 2 life lost.
The 2 life is not irrelevant as well when you're trying to.
No, I think any incremental damage you get early on against anti control, because you can always get close, but before they stabilise.
You've got to get rid of the threats.
And Corsair Crucifix. Will's top card of his library is a land.
That's a hit.
So does that gains life, goes up to 19.
And that's just another thing that Jocelyn's going to have to try and get through.
Have we got these life totals wrong? Because I think he's at 17.
Did he have to take some pain to play the course, maybe?
I don't know. I'll double check that for you in a second, and we'll update the life totals to be sure. Is that another hand?
I think it might have been 2 points of pain. Oh no, maybe only 1.
I will just go and double check the life totals and get him to move his dice in a bit closer so we can actually see them.
Yep. So we're getting a land off the top. And revealing another land. So the lands keep on coming. Looks like he's gone back up to 19. So he's going to have to work the best way to deal with it. He's got the downfall in hand. Okay, so that's the dice on screen a bit better. So he's 16 there, and I can't quite tell if it's 18 or 19 on George's side from the angle.
Better.
Yep, there. You can see the nice bit. Did you tell whether it's 18 or 19 for George? The angle is a bit.
He is 18.
It is 18.
Yeah,
okay.
It's weird. It's always this bit on.
Right. Okay. So we've had the downfall take care of Athena there. And I think the Corsair is just holding off the Hangarback at the moment, but that's going to keep.
He's got a Wingmate Rock in hand.
Do you run?
I mean, you're not. Oh, you go Rhino first, fair enough. Then you can do it next turn.
Have a Rhino.
Although I don't think it would have been a bad thing to attack with Hangarback and get into Rhino.
Trade it in. So that's going to be pain-free. So it'll be a 6-point swing.
He now has his Urborg in place. He's not taking any damage from his lands at the same time.
Yeah.
Another land for George.
So fetch at the end of turn.
Into life.
Okay, we gain
Lose one, gains
from
one. Yeah.
fetch, so stay the same. But again, the threats just keep on coming for Richard. He's had a steady flow of them again, and answers for George's creatures.
If George gets to the point anytime soon where he's playing 2 spells a turn, then he can probably start taking over the game quite convincingly at that point.
Or one of the powerful planeswalkers,
Yeah.
such as Elsbeth or Ugin, that's really going to impact the board. So draws the land and reveals. I think that's an Urborg.
It looks like an Urborg.
Points to play the
So
scry.
slide that to the bottom and downfall on top.
What's the reason for not? Has he already got an Urborg in play there?
There is an Urborg down on Jocelyn's side.
Yeah, I'm just wondering why you wouldn't play the Urborg off the top. Oh, that's a Palace Siege.
Yeah, I suppose you maybe should just play the Urborg off the top, then scry.
Oh,
mind you, maybe just wanted. You wouldn't have to scry afterwards. You could only play
scry, but you'd be drawing
still
whatever underneath anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to scry that next turn.
Unless maybe it wasn't.
Unless he needed to play the Temple now because he's got another land in Ugin, but he hasn't. He's just got 2 lands in hand. That's probably why. Okay. Yeah. He's got 2 lands in hand already. He didn't want another one. He wants to just get through his library as quick as possible.
I mean, getting the land off the top gets you that one step closer anyway. But like you say, maybe it's a case of just getting the tap land out of the way, hoping to draw into something.
I think that was Valorous Stance off the top for Richard, which is.
So the Palace Siege there.
What did he pick?
I'm not sure what he set it to. Also trying to remember exactly what the modes do on it. It's not one that I've seen play so much in Standard. I believe one of them's recur creatures from the graveyard, and the other one is draining life. Something on those. We're just going to have a bring it up. Okay, so we've got Herald of Torment being bestowed onto Siege Rhino, making it a big old flyer.
Wow.
And the 3/3 Hangarback just.
And we know George has only got 3 lands in hand, or 2 lands in hand. So he's got no answer to that at all. So George has 9.
9. After getting the missed the life of the Corsair there. So I think that's set up the drag. Yeah. So we've got two life either way. So George has gone up by 2, Richard down. So Den Protector now on the top, but if he doesn't have a way to answer this Rhino, the game's going to be over in short order. And I think it's, well, he has a downfall, but he's still going to be left with the flyer.
So cards at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Dragons at the beginning of your upkeep, each opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. So,
okay.
Which isn't irrelevant against Future, actually.
So downfall did take care of the Rhino, but the flyer is
flyer's
still there.
there.
Richard would have taken a point on his upkeep. I don't. It's showing him at 19 though. I don't think that's quite right.
I've got him on 17.
Yeah, I mean, from the Herald would have caused him a point of pain at the start of his turn, assuming that wasn't missed. But to be honest, the life total that matters at the moment is certainly George's.
Yeah, we'll get that set in a minute. I'll double check. But I can't see what he's got in hand. Is that the Joker's command? That's definitely a Wingmate Rock.
Rock is still there. I mean, are you fearful of languish if you play? If you swing with your flyer and then play the rock, are you just worried about your board getting swept?
16. He did lose another life.
Okay, yeah. So that's what we thought. Is this the opportunity to... Okay, another self-inflicted wound.
I mean, you've got to be aware of languish, I guess. So
yeah.
George goes down to 10 and loses his Corsair.
You can get in for 6 here, put him at 4, virtual 6 by the time the drain happens the next turn. Yes,
there's no need to play the rock now, is there? Quite frankly, you just do.
No,
he's got him dead next turn anyway.
I think that makes more sense. He stops the life gain from the coursers as well. So the drain happens, so it's now 6 to 14. So it was Den Protector off the top, so we know he can recur something.
It should be 15, shouldn't it? He was on 16.
It's 2 point.
Is it? I thought it was 1.
Yeah, it's 2.
Oh, was that the mode you chose on Palace? Was
yes,
it?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realise that was the mode.
No, that's right. So he's got back the Abzan charm with the mana to cast it. So I guess he's going to have to go after the flyer with that. But presumably, or do you go after the Hangarback? Both.
To be honest, I think he's in a pretty bad spot. You can't really.
It is. I mean, I guess you can block the Hangarback, but then you give them all the flyers lying tokens. You just draw. It feels like he's just drawing into languish.
Yeah, it's kind of. It does.
Just like
even languish, does languish exile?
No, but if you can deal with
not just
Hangarback. Okay, so Abzan charm
take 2 draw to you.
So that'll be down to 12, and then he'll lose 1 from the Herald trigger, so down to 11. But a nice grip of cards versus George with just the 1 in hand, I think.
Welcome, GC Smith. Basically, this is our local stores invitational tournament, which is just the top 16 players from FNMs and game days throughout the past year. We're currently on the top 4. There was 16 players yesterday, so we've already played 4 rounds of standard, 4 rounds of modern, 4 rounds of modern masters, 2 draft, and now we're back on the top 4 players playing standard again, playing for total, top 8 combined total of £450 store credit, and the winner takes £150, second place gets 100, third and fourth get £75 each. They also get a playmat each and some custom dice from the store. I kind of feel like it's language dead, isn't it?
Yeah. So the Herald got taken out.
So we're down to 3 for George
by the Abzan charm. The drain happened at a turn, so Richard will be down to 9.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, kind of like that. We just do it once a year. It's completely free to enter the tournament. Stores holding it for us. It's the first time they've done it, but it's been really popular. So it's basically the 8 winners of the game days. Top 2 from standard, top 2 from draft, top 2 from modern FNMs. Then we had a last chance qualifier because it's the first one. Normally it would be the winner, and a top under 18 player at the store as well, points wise. So yeah, it's gone down quite well.
Okay, so Siege Runner off the tops keeps George alive for at least a turn.
Yeah, so he's back on 6.
So he's up to 6. Richard must be down to 8 off of that. Yeah. So he's.
Is he not just getting hit for 6 from the wingmates? Aren't they free?
Yeah, presumably.
Is he not still dead?
The drain. Did we miss the life drain at the start of the turn? So it'll be.
Sorry, Richard's forgetting to keep hold.
Yeah. So is George would have gained 2 at the start and lost 2. So is it? So it'd be.
I think he's on 7.
I think George is actually on 8. So George on 8 and Richard on.
Oh, is he? Okay. Oh, he gains 2.
Yeah,
Sorry,
at the start of the
that's
turn,
my
yeah.
fault. Apologies, guys. I'm missing the triggers from the Palace Siege.
Yeah, this is a lot of life.
There's a lot of life changing going on,
changes,
especially
all
wing at
sorts of
Roosevelt.
things.
Richard needs over 3,
So he's going to have to block the Hangarback here.
and Richard goes to 10. Is that right?
Yep, there'll be three
attackers.
for the attack.
3
3
Foxes. I mean, it's still languish or bust, and
the life gain is not from the fellow siege. Is not going to be enough. Although Richard is presumably at quite a low life total, so
that's not bad. Explained.
okay.
For
Languish doesn't even do it now, does it?
No. I think he's just dead.
And he's going to gain.
I mean, because what he's on, he just took 6. He's on 2. He's going to gain 2 more from Palace Siege to 4.
Is that? It's tragic arrogance.
Ah.
So you what?
You
That
keep
still
a
doesn't
Focter?
work, though, does it? You have to keep. But I can't. What size is that Hangarback? Yeah, you choose that as creature, and because you don't want to let that one die because you get all the Thopters.
Oh,
again.
yeah, I suppose you have to extend.
So there's that. It's only a 1/1, so that buys him some time. We've got him at 4, and I think Richard must be at a low life total with all these Palace Siege triggers. I'm not sure exactly what it is.
We'll try and get
It's
these
a bit hard
life
to
totals updated as soon as
keep up
possible,
with,
but it's with
George is
on down to 3. George is updating his at least. So he must have gone down to 1.
Is that maybe? Is that
Oh, it must be 2.
Hangarback?
Yeah.
Yeah. The dice on the Hangarback there's a bit hard to read. Not using the nice Athena ones, which we can see a bit easier. But another.
We'll go and make sure they do that as well in a moment.
Another rock means there's basically
language.
no. I mean, he's hit off the top every other turn. Can he do it again? It's only 3.
That's not.
Den Protector? No. Abzan Charm to draw 2. So he's
Down to 2.
He's going to 2. And as a Dramoka, I don't
Wow.
think.
Wow.
Okay.
We may still have a game.
So he's alive.
Deal with Jamaica or win. There you go.
That's the game.
So we go to game 3, guys. I'm just going to go through and ask them to use the big dice and remember their life totals because that got really confusing.
Yeah, lots of
we are
triggers
playing best
going
of
on.
5 here today. Top 4 are all Abzan, which is why I'm not going to stream them 1 game at a time. I'm just going to go and remind them to use the big dice.
Yes. Okay, so we're going to game 3 here. Richard now obviously 2 games to 1, 2 games to 0 up, and very much like the first game, he just kept drawing threats, and George just couldn't answer them all quick enough. Just managed to soak myself with a bottle of Coke. So there's a brief pause there. Well, you have to exactly what that was. So lots of excitement here on both.
Both players are going back to their sideboards again. I mean, what's that? So Joslyn's on the
on the draw again.
So imagine it'd be the same.
So,
I don't think he changes anything there. Definitely he brought his team to work.
Yeah,
we saw a lot of it.
He did bring in the wounds, and they were both effective.
The other 2 players is James Gurney and
Gareth Hughes.
I can never remember Gareth's name. That's twice I've done that today.
Let's hope he doesn't watch this.
I was only out with him last night. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one's an Abzan control mirror, so
it
may well go longer than this one, especially if this is over as quickly as it's going at the moment. And if it does finish, this one finishes, and we'll still go and we'll move that onto the camera. I think is the plan.
I think everyone's hoping they open a full art fetching battle for Zendikar pre-release. To be honest with you, JC Smith, because I imagine they are going to spike like crazy.
Yeah, the price of them is going to be ridiculous,
especially the old ones like Iron Racism.
Oh yeah, I looked at them like, oh, I don't have some of those. I don't
have
full sets of one of those ones. That'd be a good chance to catch. Oh no, it's not going to be as
it's not as easy as one.
Easier to get the old ones.
So they're just going back to sideboards.
Do you think Did we see any Jomoka's commands from Jocelyn in that second game?
No, I'm pretty sure he sided them out.
Do you think
I
he'll
saw him
bring-
side at least one out.
Yeah. Do you think he'll bring them back in, having seen a palace suitor?
Yeah, potentially. Because that kept the game going longer than it needed to.
We lost track of it a little bit, but it kept George alive a long time, and I think Richard must have been at a fairly low total.
Yeah.
I know the wingmate rock helped a lot, but it wouldn't
and
have been too many.
that Dragon or Jamoka would give it slightly backbreaking at that point.
Yeah.
Just to give you an update, Gurney is currently 2-0 up against Gareth.
Okay.
So again, Gareth didn't hear that Gareth was losing 2-0 to get James Gurney in the Abzan control mirror. We'll keep that updated as we go.
Surprised that's going at the same sort of pace as this
Yeah,
one.
it is surprising. So yeah, we may actually get through to the final fairly quickly here.
Yeah.
So let's just update the scores on there as well. I didn't need to do that. So it's 2 games to 0 in the current game as well with Richard Joslin, best of 5. You'd imagine that Richard's got to be favoured here.
Yeah, I
Being
mean,
2-0 up, he seems like he's got the more consistent chance of winning it anyway.
it does seem. I don't know exactly how George will have sideboarded, but he's just never seemed to get anything going. It's been try and answer the threats, and they've just kept on coming.
Yeah. We'll interview the winner once they're done. But if Joslin wins this and then loses to Gurney, I don't imagine you're going to get anything nice said on cam after the final if that happens. But I feel like Richard is actually probably favoured. It's not a bad field for him, really.
The way he's going against Abzan Control here, you can't imagine it's a huge amount different.
I wouldn't like to also think what the odds of getting 100 full art rare lands are, how much money you would have to spend to go for that. So you know, it's. But if you get it, well done.
Yeah.
But I have to say, about 100 full art rare lands, I wouldn't be keeping them. I'd be selling them.
Yeah.
So
Just quite 100 packs is expensive on its own. And that's the second time George took card in his lap.
So I see an Abzan Charm. I see not much else because he's flicking through them far too quickly.
Yeah.
On George's side, we've got
Citadel, Heath. But we're underway. Both
Skylands
as
as
7
well.
this time, so
we have a game.
news.
So game 3, we're off. And he draws.
That's a white card.
So play stands for Citadel and pass, and possibly Wingmate Rock.
One of the better cards in the
I love
matchup.
Wingmate Rock in this matchup.
Definitely,
I think it's
yeah.
such a good card. So he's just top decked Hangarback Walker, which is the perfect top deck. I think it's the 3rd game in a row he's now done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
If it keeps up like that, he's in good shape. But George sitting on his land drops, which is what the control side just wants to do in the first few turns. Be able to answer the threats as they arise.
So he's just swinging straight in.
Unravel the Aether.
It's exile, isn't it?
It gets shuffled back in.
Shuffled
so
back in.
it does the same job.
Well, not the way Richard's been top decking.
Well, no,
he'll probably just pull it straight back off top again.
Yes. It's a clean answer, which there isn't that many clean answers for a Hangarback. But it does mean more shuffling.
It's another reason to play red and anger the gods as well, because
Yes. Yes. Although they can get too big for that. Yeah, exile effects are quite important, and we're going to lose quite a few of those when the new set goes. Anchor goes, Magma Spray goes, Unravel the Aether goes. So
there must be some more being printed. They must have known that was good.
And especially with potentially indestructible Eldrazi going around, you really going to want to have some answers to
Eldrazi is crazy.
It is. It is pretty crazy.
I'm massively about indestructible.
Imagine that unlimited. Basically, by the time you've got to cast it, with one swing and they won't have a library.
And again, I think that's also the 3rd game where he's gone turn 2 Hangarback into turn 3 Anafenza. So
yeah,
Richard's deck is curving out just about perfectly at this point. I don't think Anafenza has survived a turn yet. He's got an Abzan Charm. I imagine that's charming the Anafenza now.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not. I don't know. He did it main phase last time, but we weren't really sure why.
He's going for it now. So Richard is 19. They're both on 19 now. Richard cracked the Heath to play an offensive. But I think this is also the third time that Anaphen's met an Abzan charm.
Yeah.
And with George running the full.
He's already picking it up, getting ready to kill it. So he is going to main phase the Abzan charm again.
That was on the attack. This is on.
Oh, was it?
On Richard's turn, yes.
I thought you just played it.
No.
I might have must have passed the turn.
Yeah,
indeed.
passed the turn.
And another Hangarback. See, shuffling it back in does nothing because you just draw it straight back.
Draw it again. This time.
All value from Jocelyn today.
And a scribe from George left on top. See,
self-inflicted wound off the top for Richard Joslin, which has got. I have to say, I'm almost giving this one to Joslin now.
It seems that way.
It feels like he's seriously favoured here in this matchup.
There is another Abzan charm in George's hand, so if the Hangarback Walker gets any bigger, he can get rid of it. So we've got time if it stays at a 2-2. But scribe at the top.
17.
Has he got a rhino or something similar?
Yeah, but the first game he hasn't pulled a rhino. If he hasn't got one.
Yeah, I know he's got a Den Protector, but with only a Heath in the graveyard, I guess you.
So he plays as more for Master. I'm assuming that is a Den Protector. Then he's got any other Morse in his list, has he?
And it's going to be draw 2, lose 2.
So 15 to George. See, this just feels bad to me because it just all hurts George here. Like it's constant loss of life, even when Rich is not just hitting threat after threat after threat, which he's been doing quite consistently. Oh, then he plays a rhino. So
it's a definite stem the bleeding, and nothing's attacking through that as it stands. But we do know there's a self-inflicted wound in Richard's hands.
But you say I'll still be swinging in with a Hangarback Walker here because then you just start flying over the top.
That's true. Although that does play into Languish a bit more. At the moment, you've got good protection against Languish because you have creatures afterwards. But the self-inflicted wound is going to take out and 2 points lost as well. It's almost undoing everything the Rhino did. And he's going to get it back again. There we go. So that's a pretty effective turn. Swinging for 5.
George
down to 11.
It's just
it does feel very much like the writing's on the wall already. So I think that was a land off the top. Yeah.
Scribe one. Rules considering it.
On top, well, that's a good sign.
I don't know, we sort of didn't look like he wanted to keep on top, but it was almost like I have to keep that on top.
Yeah.
And there's Corsair, Brazil.
Okay. And that's why he left there, so I think that's a reasonable keep, although not a good answer to. Okay, so we've got a Jamoka's command counter in the fight. Because I guess that would have been unblockable otherwise. And now the Hangarback will can't attack through the Corsair. So semi-stabilised here. Downfall on top, of course, we're in play.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
I mean, I guess the wound could go after the Corsair here.
I think he's tapped out. I think you still wound the Corsair.
Although he has just drawn an Elsbeth, so if you've got a 6th land, would you get that in play?
Jocelyn just do the Elsbeth, didn't they? So I still think I think you just keep playing value. You keep clearing the board, swinging in, clear the board, swinging in.
Makes sense. So he lost 2 there.
He's going to win the race at that rate.
Yeah.
If you don't get the self-inflicted wound there, George can play an Elspeth next turn, and self-inflicted is then terrible. Oh, and a Tassica as well. There you go. So that's fantastic.
That's an efficient turn there. So
even Language isn't getting out of this anymore.
Good. I mean, we've got the downfall, so that can.
He drew off the charm, didn't he? So
yeah,
he's got a Rhino in hand, so he can go back up to 12.
Rhino and downfall again. That's potentially stabilises, gets rid of Tassica.
Stalls the board again, stops Jocelyn from pushing through.
He needs an untapped land to do both of those, though. I don't know.
So downfall's a Tassica.
No
land there, so
it's going to get hit for at least 2. There it is.
It's just down to 5. Wow.
And there's another morph.
It's another Den Protector.
Yeah. And with Tassica in the graveyard, although that's not a great thing to get.
I think I'll just go self-inflicted wound.
That got exiled with the when he played the Tassica.
Oh, did it?
So yeah,
okay, so it is just
the Tassica, which I mean you can always cast full value anyway. Plus, if you play a spell and then unmorph next time, you get them both. It's just so much value all the way through this game. He's outvalued the control player. There's the Rhino. So
it's back up to 8 for George, down to 13 for Jocelyn.
yeah.
This is more sort of typical Abzan that we expected. It's just Lifetail's going back and forth non-stop.
Yeah. So that. Who's got Elsbeth in hand? Can't see what else. Presumably still no sixth land.
I think at this point he'd be slamming the 6th land. Is that Rhino?
Or is it
Or was that Sorin? That looks like Sorin. Wow. Then
that gains a lot of life, but it doesn't really get through the Rhino particularly effectively. Although the tokens that are left over.
downfall. Okay. Yeah.
Every creature
He has
that
just
George has
had
played has just
answer.
died, and he's going to buy back the downfall.
Yeah.
And swing in for
5, yeah.
putting him down 3.
And that's game, I imagine.
There's an Elspeth in hand,
Huh?
so we can.
You can
He
still
can play Elspeth, but
he
that
just
doesn't.
he top that the Elspeth.
The Elspeth doesn't help though, because the Devil Protector just attacks.
Oh yeah,
her.
it just goes through. Yeah.
So that's not an answer. I think this might be game. He's checking all his options. What man is it? Utter end on that. So that's by the turn.
Still dying to the Hangarback. Well,
Oh,
there you go.
super.
Yeah, that's game. So,
That's it.
to be honest, the entire way through all of those games, Joslin looked like he was just winning from turn 1. To be honest,
Yeah.
every way, shape, or form, we never got losing that game at all. Did he?
It's been very one-sided, and maybe that's representative of the way that this Hangarback version of Abzan Aggro is favoured against control. It's certainly looked that way there.
Yeah. I will go and try and get both players in, because I imagine George will probably help commentate after this on the final. And I'll see if there's any games left being played on the other semi-final. We'll see if we can get them moved over. I know Gareth was down 2 games, but we'll see.
See how that one's going, yeah. But you see them deboarding here, so we see some of the things they brought in. It was the Garrick came in, Sorin end hostilities, the utter end. Self-inflicted wounds on Richard's side that we saw a lot of, and the one of Tassiger there. And obviously the unravel for George to answer the Hangerbacks. So, as you'd expect, the control deck having a lot more sideboarding cards. He actually took out a Languish, which is interesting. There's a few ways to deal with the board getting flooded, but I guess Rhinos and Hangerbacks on the other side, it isn't actually that great all the time. So yeah, I think we're going to see if we can get the players in here and have their thoughts on it. Richard will certainly be happier of the two, I would imagine. And like I said, we'll see if our other semi-final between Gareth and James is still ongoing, and potentially try and get them moved in if we can.